Hey guys, this is Ashley, personal trainer and weight loss coach. Today I want to talk to you about something really simple but very important. We're going to talk about treat yourself like you love yourself. And I look forward to sharing more with you about that. But as always, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Friday. And the whole point of this channel is to help people with their weight loss goals. But we also talk about things like health and wellness. And today, this topic's a little bit more in that wellness category. But it can branch into weight loss in other areas as well. The main thing we want to talk about is treat yourself. Sometimes when we are trying to be good to ourselves, we want to reward ourselves. And this is a really common thing. I think it's part of our human nature, really. We like positive reinforcement. So when you do something good, you want to receive a reward, a treat. And we're also kind of trained this way as children a lot of times. You do well in class, you get a gold star, you get a good report home. We're ingrained that good behavior, doing the right thing, there's going to be this reward that comes on the other side. And then as adults, we tend to try to do the same thing for ourselves. Oh, I did really good this week. I stayed on my diet, so this weekend I'm going to treat myself to some pizza. I did really good, with my workouts this week. I really pushed, so you know what? I'm going to give myself an extra rest day this week. I'm going to treat myself. That's where we get into a dangerous issue, or it's not really dangerous, it's not like it's going to kill you, but just troublesome waters where we think we are rewarding ourselves, giving ourselves a pat on the back, telling ourselves good job, but in reality we are self-sabotaging. And so you have to be very careful about this. I fall prey to this all the time. That's part of the reason I made this video, is because I had to give myself this pep talk and this reminder that a lot of times, we're doing so good, we want to reward ourselves, but then the very thing we reward ourselves with undoes all the hard work, the good work that we did. And it just can't be that way. You're always going to be taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and sometimes your 1 step back might be 2 steps back, might be 3 steps back, without you even really realizing the damage that you're doing. And then we wonder, why can't we make progress? What's wrong with me? And you ask yourself these questions, and then you start thinking like, do I self-sabotage? Like, what's going on? And you don't realize it for what it is. You think you're just treating yourself. And again, I'm mostly speaking to myself here, so don't feel like I'm beating you up. I'm mostly beating me up. So it happens all the time. What we want to do is learn healthy ways to treat ourselves, healthy ways to reward ourselves, healthy ways to celebrate ourselves. It's important to be happy in your own skin, to be happy along the journey. You don't want to be one of those people that say, oh, when I get to my 40-pound weight loss goal, then I'll be happy. When I, finally achieve this level of health that I'm looking for, when my doctor takes me off this insulin, then I'll be happy. You want to be happy along the journey, which means you should love yourself throughout the journey. You should love yourself no matter where you are in that journey, no matter what point, if you're just starting out, if you're in the middle, or if you're close to the end and you're finishing the last 5 pounds or the last little bit. All along the way, you should love who you are. But loving who you are, we have to be careful not to self-sabotage, not to hurt ourselves. And sometimes we do. We reward ourselves with a cupcake that's full of sugar. We reward ourselves with, a rest day that turns into 2 rest days, that turns into 3 rest days. But I earned it. I worked so hard. Let's look at some healthy ways you can treat yourself that aren't going to self-sabotage, that aren't going to set you back. The first one I want to talk about is rewarding yourself with food. This one can be really tricky, really difficult, because again, this is something that sometimes is ingrained from childhood. Oh, you did really good going to the dentist's office, you got a shot, let's go get ice cream. Sometimes it's really reinforced and you don't even realize it. And for whatever reason, you're an adult now, or you're in college, whatever, and you find yourself every time, you're feeling really good, you want to reward yourself with food. You feel really bad, well, I want to make myself feel better by having this food. And it becomes just a nasty cycle that doesn't really help you, and you end up sabotaging yourself. So if you're going to reward with food, I would recommend trying to go for healthier options. Instead of getting ice cream, get froyo. Instead of having, something really chocolatey, maybe get a dark chocolate, maybe like some fun size bars where you have maybe 2 of those or something like that instead of a whole candy bar, like a Snickers or something. Find ways to Yes, reward yourself. Yes, live a little, but just don't go off the deep end and completely derail the progress that you've made. Look for healthier food options if you're going to reward with food. Personally, in my life, it's something I've tried to take out because it's just something that I personally think from a psychology standpoint may not be the strongest thing if you have a difficult relationship with food already. If it's something you don't have control over in your life, or you're struggling with being disciplined in your eating, I feel that rewarding yourself with food, any food, even good foods, can be skating on thin ice because you can overdo anything. It's everything in moderation, right? So if you overdo, the dark chocolate, you're telling yourself, and I again do this all the time, that's why I made this video, that, oh, this is healthy, it's good for me, I can have as much as I want. And then you wonder why the scale says you're 3 pounds heavier the next day. Well, maybe you can't have unlimited dark chocolate. It still has some sugar. It's still, calories regardless. So still, if you're gonna eat and reward yourself with food, try to make good choices and try to do them in moderation. But instead of rewarding with food, there are other things you can reward yourself with that are actually going to be helpful. I would recommend the second thing you could do is rewarding yourself with activities that you really enjoy. So if you're someone that loves to paint, but maybe you don't make enough time to do that, you really enjoy yoga, but you don't like to really have a membership or pay for the membership or whatever, you really like taking your dog for long walks, whatever it is, something that's a little more active, even if it's something like painting or drawing or writing poetry, whatever, but it's something that you enjoy, that's kind of you time, it's reflective, it energizes you, it calms you, things that feed your spirit. Do more of those things and try to stay active. These are things that are going to make you feel more replenished. If you take yourself and you go to the spa and get a massage, you've been working out all week, you've been eating right, and you want to reward yourself. Well, that massage is going to make you feel so good. It's going to work out all the lactic acid in your muscles from your workout. It's like an appropriate treat, if that makes sense. You worked hard, and now you're going to relieve some of the tension and stress in your body, work out the muscles so that you can turn around and do it again next week. You see how that kind of feeds into next week instead of starting you next week backwards? You want to do things like that. If going for a walk with your dog is, replenishing for you, it makes you feel better, go for a nice long walk. If you like to paint and that just makes you feel really zen, really balanced, really chill, and you like that, or, whatever, you derive pleasure from it, then, take some time out to do that for yourself so that you can feel balanced and at peace, especially when you're on a weight loss journey, because a lot of times we all feel like we are going nuts. You're trying to drink enough water, you're trying to watch what you eat, you're trying to make sure you exercise, at the same time you got to work, make sure your family doesn't die, all these different things, you're taking care of all these other people, trying to take care of yourself, trying to get enough sleep, and it feels like if someone gives you one more thing to do, you're gonna lose it. So if you want to reward yourself, maybe giving yourself some time, some quality time that's going to help you to focus, recenter, would be a better investment than just going and getting some Bluebell ice cream. It's going to do you a lot more good. So we talked about food, we talked about activities, but I'm going to give you just a general summary, I guess, of some of my favorite things to reward myself with. Maybe it'll make it onto your list. And these also, I'll include some that were tips given to me by my clients that I kind of stole from them because they were good ideas. Something you can do is buying yourself some new nail polish or a lipstick. I love those recommendations. That was actually from a client because for like $5, $6 or less, you can swing by a drugstore, whatever, get yourself a new lipstick. It's not a huge money investment, but it's something that you are investing in yourself, and it does make you feel pretty. It makes you feel like you did something for yourself. So you can do something like that. I'm not sure what the male equivalent to that would be, some $5, $6 item that they can buy that would make them feel good. I don't know. but when I think of that, I'll let you know. But doing something like that, personally, I really like to get manicures and pedicures. I used to do it religiously because I would get the gel and then I have to, keep it up. But I don't do it as much, obviously, anymore. But when I do want to reward myself, sometimes I will go treat myself to a mani-pedi. And again, that's kind of one of those relaxing activities. It makes you feel really pretty when you walk out. You feel like you did something that was for you. So it's replenishing for me. Getting a massage is another great one. If you're on a budget, I find that places that do foot reflexology, usually they have better prices than your fancy massage places, and you can still get a really good massage at a lot of them. So that's another option. But getting a massage is also a really great way to reward yourself. Some other great ways, maybe watching your favorite movie, again, creating quality time activities for yourself. So watching your favorite movie, your favorite series, that's just kind of you time to focus on what you want, that sort of thing. What else do I like to do? I love to listen to music, but I don't really reward myself with music, I wouldn't say, but I do listen to a lot of music, and that helps me to kind of chill, focus better, so that helps a lot. Reading a book can help. Or buying a book. Yes, you can reward yourself with many things on Amazon. That can be, again, dangerous waters because you don't want to go spending hundreds of dollars treating yourself on Amazon. But you can rein in your shopping and say, okay, I'm not going to buy those shoes until I hit my goal. I'm not going to buy that new dress or that new blouse or whatever until I achieve this milestone. And that way you have something to work towards right now. Right now I have quite a few of those goals in my life where it's like, okay, when I hit this, I'm going to get that. When I hit this, I'm going to get that. And it helps me to encourage myself to continue to work towards the goal instead of rewarding myself with something that's going to set me back. So hopefully that makes sense. But find something where you can say, okay, at this checkpoint, I'm going to get this for myself. At this checkpoint, I'm going to do that for myself. At this checkpoint, I'm going to do that for myself. And these can be as big or as small as you want. Some people are really into travel and can do that, and they have the responsibilities in their life arranged such that they can do that. It's not really a part of my life right now, but for some people, it's like they're everything. You can make it travel, You can say, okay, when I hit this smaller goal, I'm going to go on a local trip, somewhere that's maybe 2-3 hours away with a friend or something. When I hit this big goal, though, then I'm going to go to Disney World, or I'm going to hit this big goal and I'm going to go to the Caribbean. And you can set goals like that, and that's perfectly fine to reward yourself with something that you really want. It's going to keep you focused and motivated, create a strong visual image for yourself so that you know what you're working towards. And it's not just seeing this number on the scale move or some ambiguous thing that you're trying to imagine what would I look like 50 pounds less, and that can be really hard sometimes to even visualize. But I bet you can visualize a cruise to the Caribbean, so you can focus on that and help push you through to make the right choices and to continue to work harder instead of easing off. So these are just a few ideas, guys, but basically today's message is to treat yourself, love yourself throughout the whole process, no matter where you are, but just make sure that when you're loving yourself, when you're treating yourself, you're not actually self-sabotaging and setting yourself backwards. So I hope this video really helps. If you haven't already, make sure you click that like button, guys. And as always, I want to thank each of you for watching. Thanks.